Welcome everybody to episode 10 of my WICSO. Now in this episode, we have seen the tensions start to raise in this post-Great European War map, and we also see a very divided religion map. Now this map is very new. I really like it though, because of how much it's going to incorporate all the different religions in the future, and the cluster of the Baltic Union is going to definitely create some like drama and all that mess. And yeah, that's it. I definitely gotta align it more, but it's pretty good for a starter religion map. Alright, here we go. So, as we're gonna see here is just some more exploration into Africa and all that stuff. So let's go ahead and map that. We don't really want to put much into exploration right now, though, since it's post-war, but a lot of advancements have been happening, especially in the new fields that are coming out, because this is a age of enlightenment. An earlier age of enlightenment, since my people have been trapped in Europe for a while, since they don't know how to explore desert and never thought they would encounter a desert. Which is honestly very sad, but it's true, that would happen. But what they're going to see is just coastal pieces being discovered, a push into the Arabian desert a little bit, because honestly, they need to, because it's right on the border with the Mesopotamian land. And it wouldn't make sense for them not to. So, we ain't gonna see much, just some exploration. We find quarter. Other than that, we find how we connect to the UAE. We find Oman. But then we're going to see India start to be discovered a bit. Like the Indian Peninsula. So we're all the way down in Pakistan now. Now this is a little bit bigger, so we can see what's going on in there. I do have plans for that region, so yeah. But we're really just going to see expansion on the coast in India. And then we're going to see our first tribes in India being discovered. So this green tribe here is going to have a little bit of control over Sri Lanka. And then they're going to encounter a rival tribe on the rest of Sri Lanka. But other than that, we don't really have much going on over there. Not much is going to happen for expansion compared to the other episodes, but it is still massive compared to other episodes. I really want to turn India into a very important part of this map. Some people have India get colonized. I don't really like the theme of that. Really, India could have had a really good chance of colonizing in real life. Just because trade. But also China had a really big chance of colonizing too. They almost actually discovered the New World. But they could have had a pretty giant colonial empire if it wasn't for the collapse of Ming. which that would have made history super different. I did watch a video on that. It was pretty cool. If I find out what it is, I'll link it in the description of this video. But it was pretty cool. They get a little bit of the Arctic Ocean discovered. They're not going to push much into it. But then we see the red team explore with the help of their puppet of Sweden. I really do think that Sweden's going to just be useless this whole time. But what we see here now is the red team killing off the Swedes. The religious Swedes are being killed off by the red team. And this religious group that's in here too. We've already seen that a little bit on the map. But this is going to be real effective. They don't really want much people living that aren't their religion. We already see some conflict over here with exclaves. And then what's left of the blue team religion, which is very sad, but they do have a little bit of land in the Baltic Union, which I think is really good. But other than that, we see the expansion of the red team because the expansion of the Swedes is banned. So they're going to do that. They're going to take land out of their puppet just to fix up borders. Now, I ain't a good border drawer, so if y'all have any hints and tricks on how to make better borders, just let me know. Because I suck at it. I'm gonna be real. I'm a mapper, but I'm not meant for border drawing, if I'm gonna be real here. I guess that's just how it works because I'm an American. But that's stereotypical. But it's kinda right. I do suck at border drawing. So they're really going to focus on discovering the Scandinavian area. Their population's really booming in Finland. So unlike real life, there's a lot of people living up north just because they've been in the north and they're adapted to it. I think people in this world are hairier because they did come from the north. But we are going to see some people who are just like us because they come from hotter regions of the world. So we're going to see Yemen. Yemen's going to be formed here in Africa, in Yemen. Not here in Africa, but here in Arabia and a little bit of Africa. Yemen, honestly, I could do a lot with Yemen, but I might not. Depends if I want them to get rolled over or not. I know there's a little bit of controversy around Yemen right now because of the Houthis, but I feel bad for all the people living in Yemen who are innocent people dealing with the Houthis. But good thing the US is trying to deal with the Houthis. But other than that, what we see here is Turkey actually demanding that Greece exits their islands and they don't. So we're going to see built up tensions here in the sea over here. Now Yugoslavia is going to side with Turkey here, saying Greece has overstepped their power. They don't really have much land and they've been cut off by the Baltic Union and they want to form a great empire. Yugoslavia forms a alliance with Turkey for expansion. This will be the... what shapes do I have? The Star Alliance. This Star Alliance is going to be fully focused on expansionism, wanting their empires in their little alliance to grow to massive heights. Now, I think Turkey just is joining because they hate Greece, but they're already the largest country in the world, so they really don't need expansion. But they're just going to join that, and then what we see here is Ireland joining because they don't like the English. The English have some of the Irish in their borders. If you see here, actually, never mind. The Irish have English in their borders, so they're just gonna ally with them to keep themselves safe. But other than that, we're going to see not much more happening. We're going to see a little bit of expansion from this Iberian country. They're going to expand a little bit into here, taking land from this country, and this country's just gonna be jumped by the Iberian countries. So we're going to see this Iberian country take this city, push a little further, but then they're going to be like, hey, why are you joining this war? I wanted their land. And they're gonna take all the way over here. And then this green team is like, bro, I want my land connected, so I'm gonna join. I don't care what y'all say. So what we're gonna see here is these borders be formed. Now here we go. I will be back after this peace treaty. Alright, here we go. I just made the peace deal and changed the color here. That way it would look better. But this is the peace deal. And then we're going to see Northern African claims. Now, these people are quite advanced, I'd say. But other than that, we're just going to see this. And then the Italians are going to get some of this. The Italians really do have a deep culture. They don't really have any religion differences, but they do have many cultural differences. So there's a big cultural divide in Italia. But Northern Africa is almost fully divided. I think the Suez area is just going to be split between Turkey and this Greek team. Mainly Turkey's just gonna want to take some land over here because the area, and it just would look better in my opinion. And then they're just gonna make this border look a little bit better because I'm not one to hate borders sometimes, but I am allergic to border gore. That is a fact. I know many people are allergic to border gore, so I'm just gonna try to save as many people as I can here. But other than that, we're going to be real good on here. Border gore ain't going to be bad, unless you count the Germania area. There's quite a bit of border gore over here, but it ain't straight borders, except for this. But other than that, we're good. The Baltic Union and the Turkish team are really going to have to negotiate around this Crimea area. But honestly, it won't be that big of a problem for anyone. I don't think either country would really care that much. I gotta fix the borders the landscape for Crimea, because I know that don't look right, and I'm sure one of y'all is going to comment about that. If so, please, please don't be rude about it. And I will get to your comment eventually. If not, just go to my Discord server in my YouTube bio and DM me on Discord or something, and I'll see it from there. And you can tell me how to fix it, and I will do that. I'll do that for any borders or anything y'all want me to fix, because I am taking many suggestions, because this is my first time doing WICSO. I'm not good at it. Nobody's good in their first time, so I'm just trying to make this as easy as possible for me and fun to watch for y'all. Other than that, we're going to see a little bit of sea exploration. They don't really see a point in it. Not anymore. So they're just going to explore a little bit. Just make this look a little bit better. Other than that, they don't have that many advanced boats. They still could make naval landings. I think the Turkish team probably has the strongest navy here. Other than that, I would say it's the Baltic Union or the Red Team. But here we go. We're going to... I don't know what we're going to do. We're going to end the video here, actually. This ain't going to be a long video. Probably only 20 minutes due to the peace deal. But here we go. I hope everyone has a good day, and goodbye.